Hey guys, it's your girl Samantha, and this morning I woke up to some craziness about Meek Mill's tour bus art, and I just happened to watch Cynthia G's video first concerning this topic, and I just wanted to do some commentary on her video. So I'll go ahead and play her video and offer my commentary in between different comments or things that I see in her video.
The past couple days asking me to talk about this Meek Mill tour bus situation where he apparently approached a black female artist who really looks like a male. I suspect that she is within the LGBTQ community, but that doesn't matter, to paint a mural on his tour bus. And this is also used as the cover for his album Expensive Pain. And once this was dropped, a lot of people took issue with this, particularly black women and also a man of no color who, because he made comments about this poke, now it's being disregarded as lunacy and trolling, etc. But I want to go into this, and I'm going to show you guys the video. I'm going to show you a few comments, but listen, this is what it boils down to. This is a situation where once again you have black women against black men. See, because when I come on here and I talk about black women being strategic in their dating choices and their mating choices, and perhaps thinking critically about whether or not it's beneficial to continue to give birth to the men who have put themselves in opposition to you, then I'm told that this is radical. I'm told that this is Hitler-esque. I'm told that this is extreme and outrageous and an indication of self-hatred. But yet, if we look at reality, all we do is see black women worshiping black men while simultaneously complaining about the ill treatment, the lack of loyalty, the misrepresentation, and the abuse of black men. And those are only a few things to name. We can go into much more. And so when I see a situation like this, I'm like, it's really interesting how in the backdrop of this, I'm doing panels and I'm giving information out to black women, logical information that's being regarded as emotional, because generally black people don't know the difference between emotional and logic. While I'm doing this, there's a whole entire social media uproar about a black man and his representation of black women, the negative representation of black women. And I'll tell you guys, I've been seeing this promoted mostly by Boyce Watkins. Boyce takes extreme issue with this, as he should. However, I have not seen many black men actually take issue with this. In fact, black men are doing what it is that they do, which is showing absolutely no loyalty or concern for black women. I don't even think they hear black women's complaints. Killer Mike came out and defended this and called it art. And we're just going to get into all of these deflections of black men. But really, it's going to boil down to this, black women. What are you going to do about it? Because at the end of the day, black men are not going to protect your image. Black men don't care about your image. Black men are the ones who promoted a negative image about you. They can run all the way back to the plantation and talk about what the system did. But this is what black men are doing. The problem here is that...
Okay, so I was trying to find a way to come in to answer Cynthia G's question as to what black women should do about actions such as this that black males are taking part in, which they've been taking part in for over 20, 30 years, since the music industry kind of started to go downhill around the 90s. My sister and I first noticed music becoming over-sexualized with black women. I think it was around the time where the Sir Mix-a-Lot came out with his song, I Like Big Butts and I Cannot Lie, and it just went downhill from there. And I remember my sister and I talking about how we really don't watch BET anymore because of that reason. And for me, I'm not really a big music person anyway. I'm more the type to read books, and I'm a writer, and I've just always been like more in that realm of artistic expression. My sister is a music head. Like, I seriously call her straight up just a music head. She loves music. She knows all the music. She has all the music. And for her to say So for me, it wasn't a big deal to walk away from BET because I'm not a big music person anyway. Music is not where I need to get my artistic outlet from. I can get that through reading and doing other art forms. For my sister, music is everything to her. So for her to walk away from BET also shows just how disturbed she was. 1 second. Record it. Okay, have you guys seen Meek Mill's album cover?
No,
Yes.
I don't listen to Meek Mill.
Avery, what do you think about his album cover?
Oh, it looks weird.
Do you think it's cool or like
Not
yuck?
cool. It's just weird. I don't really like it.
And Jalen, you say you don't even listen to Meek Mill, right? Because I don't think anyone in the house listens to Meek Mill. We don't. It's like your dad might listen to him, does he? I've never heard him. Your dad listens to he listens to like gangster rap and like old school music and some neo soul type music. So basically, the reason I'm making my video is because Cynthia G, who I like her, but I don't agree with everything she says. So she's basically saying that black women need to stop giving birth to black boys. And the reason why she's trying to push her agenda is because she's saying that, oh, how can you control them? They're going to get caught up in the culture. And she's basically saying all black boys are going to grow up to be black men who are dusty, degenerate black men, like black males, like Meek Mill. She thinks that basically every black boy that's born we need to just not give birth to them because they're going to one day grow up and become a dusty, disrespectful black man who just doesn't protect black women, doesn't care about black women, puts black women naked on the side of a bus because they don't care about protecting the image of black women. And that's where we are right now, is like there's like women fighting against that, saying that's not true. And then she has like her cult following of people who are saying, yeah, we're not giving birth to black boys anymore. So they're going even far as to say abort them, which I think is extreme. But they're like, if we find out we're pregnant with a black boy, we're going to abort them, or we're just like not going to have kids at all. And we just swear off our womb and not have kids. And of course, I am fighting against her and saying basically you can have black boys and raise them up to be good black men who are going to marry black women, protect black women, raise their children, basically be good black men. And another thing that's annoying me is that I feel like black women, because they're saying divest, it's like, yeah, that's cute or whatever. One, I don't want my race to turn into a biracial race. I don't want us to, basically we will become extinct because biracial is not black. Secondly, I feel like these women that are pushing this agenda of divesting, they're almost like giving white guys a halo, like non-black guys a halo. Oh, they're so perfect. They don't do these things, but that's a lie because they've been showing white women in naked situations forever. They've had them in their videos where they're like wearing skimpy clothing. Look at the porn industry. It's extremely successful, and it originated with white women in the, with online porn anyway. And their paintings, they have white women. On their tattoos, I always see them with naked white women. So I'm like, are we really just going to sit here and pretend that, because a white guy actually came out and was going off about Meek Mill's side of the bus. But while I don't agree, obviously, with Meek Mill's bus, because I'm like, okay, what is he doing? But I mean, obviously, you guys know mom's not into music like that. And I wouldn't even have known about the bus if people weren't talking about it on my regular channels that I follow, like Cynthia G, Chrissy, some of my YouTubers that I follow were talking about it. And I'm like, I kind of saw some stuff and I'm like, what is it? What are they talking about now? Like, I just saw some art that everyone's in an uproar about. And I'm like, what is going on? And I saw this, I think, yesterday. But of course, yesterday I didn't feel like really being bothered with YouTube because I knew it was a lot of drama going on right now. So because I just came from the dentist, I was like, I'm just going to like kind of tune out from it and lay down and watch like movies or other stuff. And so this morning I was like, okay, well, let me see what's going on with, Cynthia, because somebody compared Cynthia G to Hitler, I think the other day, because I guess they're just saying her views are becoming very extreme, like how Hitler was trying to get rid of a certain type of person. She's basically trying to do that. Like she's basically trying to breed out black males And she's saying, like, you can have a small percentage of black males who are the creme de la creme, like they are educated, they're protectors of black women. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I've seen black artists do this before. I've seen people do this in other music groups. Like,
But she's saying, like, no, she's saying that is true. Black males have been doing it forever. And she's just saying, like, this is what they're going to continue to do. So she thinks that if we continue to give birth to black boys, they're going to grow up and continue to perpetuate this, and that there's no way to save our black sons from the culture. I disagree, because I feel like you can raise your children out of the culture. You don't have to buy Meek Mill albums. You don't have to send your kids to public school, because they're like, basically, people have been doing this forever. Like, people who are religious, they are homeschooling their kids because they don't want them to be influenced by outside influences. So that's really why homeschool really became popular amongst, like, people who are Christians or whatever, because they want to have more control over what their child learns. So that's obviously what black people should be doing. But instead of Cynthia G coming up with that type of idea, because she just wants to say, don't have black boys. So it's like, you don't. And then when she tries to ask, well, what else do you suggest? When people tell her what we suggest, she doesn't really listen. She doesn't talk about it on her show. And I know she hears me because I tagged her. So I know she hears me, because some of the stuff she's saying, it sounds like she's responding to stuff I've said on my videos, and I'm not shy about it. Like, I have 5 black sons. So if anybody's going to speak out in support of having black boys, it's going to be me, because I'm raising good black men. I know my sons are not going to be like a Meek Mill. I don't even know. It's kind of like this ideology that the majority of black males are like Meek Mill, and that only a small percentage. And she said, like, we only need a small percentage of black men to continue the black race. Basically, she wants the majority of the black race to be women. And she feels like we should just have a small amount, like 20% be black men. And I'm just like, that's stupid, because one, the women, everybody's not going to listen to you. So basically, degenerate, ratchet black females are going to keep having black boys, and they're going to raise Meek Mill. Like, so the ones that you want to be raising good black men are listening to you already. They're educated. They're going to stop having babies. So the ones we want to be raising, the good 20%, aren't going to be having them. They're going to be either aborting them or just deciding, I'm not going to have any kids at all, because I don't want to, help the problem, continue the problem, or perpetuate this issue to continue. Then there's some women like me who already have black boys, so of course we're raising them right, because we're following people like Cynthia G. We're aware of, like, problematic stuff that's going on with black male pathology, and we're working. And even before then, I was raising my kids differently, because you guys were already homeschooled before I even started listening to Cynthia G like that. Like, I was listening to her, but not about kids. She doesn't have any kids, and, like, most of the people that are talking don't have any kids. So it's kind of interesting, like, people telling us what to do with our womb, and you haven't really lived life. Like, you're just sitting here telling people what to do, but you're playing it safe. You're not married. You don't have any kids. You're doing nothing with yourself.
Here's my 2 opinions, right? All right. So for one, she said not to have black boys, but doesn't she have a black boy? So that,
I don't think she does. People have said it, and she says she doesn't have a child. I think she either aborted it or something along those lines. So I think she's already, but yeah, okay. Then the second thing.
The second one is isn't she the same person who's also been saying that, right? There needs to be 2 genders in a household, because if we have one gender mainly just just influencing the black, especially the black boys.
Right. So she's saying she's basically almost leaning towards polygamy. Like, she's either saying every a majority of black women are going to be sharing a small group of black men, which is basically what we're already doing, because we outnumber.
Contradicting her.
Yeah, we outnumber black males, because a lot of them are in jail or whatever, or dead, or they die earlier than black women because they don't take care of their health or whatever. So we're basically already fighting over the few black males that's there. That's how we got to black male worship, is everybody's trying to get a black man, because black women prefer, like most people do, majority races prefer to date their own race. So there's already a small little group of good, quote unquote, good black men. And right now, what we consider good black men is a man with a job, has his own house, has his own car, not living in the basement with his mama, not beating women, not cheating, like just a really simple, basic shit you'd expect from any man. That's a good black man. Like you don't want somebody who's been in prison and all that stuff and can't keep a job, whatever. That's a small group of guys. Like not every black guy, like a lot of black guys are unemployed, not making enough to support anybody, living with their baby mama. And that's another one. Can't have a bunch of baby mamas and all these kids, like your money's going out of the house. Like even if you have a job, you're just going out of the house to all these different babies. So that's like a good black man. So it's basically what she's doing, either all the black women are going to be fighting for these 20% of black guys, or you're going to be, or I say, or you're going to be divesting out. So a lot of you are going to be going with biracial, with white guys or other races of men. So you can still have a man in the house. But that's my concern. Is like, okay, so now we're either going to all be fighting over even a smaller group of guys than black women are already trying to fight over to get a husband and have babies with, or we're going to become biracial and get wiped out. And that's what Tanya TKO brought up to her attention when they were on the panel together. They were on a video together. It's going to go forever. Tanya TKO brought that up, and she was like, I feel like we should just move to like kind of like a compound and basically, well, you know what I'm saying, like my land, 10 acres of land, like basically women, and your sister, Stacey and I talk about this, like we want to develop the property to house single black mothers. One, because black men are making it unsafe to live in our neighborhoods. Like that's something else I'm fighting with my channel. And it's like, I'm tired of being robbed. We're living in a beautiful neighborhood with deer that feel safe enough to come out, and you're about to be a hoodlum robbing people. No, unacceptable. Get the fuck out of our neighborhood. Like, I don't want that riffraff crap in our neighborhood. So it's like black males right now are doing a lot of negative things. And so black women are definitely tired of it. And that basically where we are is like trying to find solutions. And so since Tanya TKO was like me, she was like, I would want to just get land and move everybody, like all the good, all the like-minded black people. Because 19 Families already did this. And, like a lot of people do this. Like Mormons that live in Utah, that's what they do. They basically live on a compound. And then you have Amish people, you don't ever see them. They're like living on their own little compound. Like they basically just go and live amongst each other, and they share the same values and teaching their children certain things, so it's like that's the way you can remove them from the culture. Does anyone walk around and see Amish people anywhere? Do we know, when was the last time I've seen a Mormon? Like, I don't even know. It's like, where are they? They're in Utah somewhere. Like, you don't see them. So they go to church or whatever they're doing. They go to their own schools. They live amongst their own. They play with each other. They, have friends, and everybody's Mormon. Everybody's Amish. So I'm like, that's basically how black people need to raise it. It's not that hard. People are already doing it. Just take a playbook out of what everybody else is doing. Why are we reinventing the wheel? Why are we sitting here saying don't have black boys? That's, to me, if you can be that extreme that you're telling women to go against something that's natural, you're telling black women to not give birth at all or to kill their baby. Both of those things are not natural. We're put on this earth to procreate. And we're put on this earth to procreate ourselves, to replace ourselves, not a biracial kid, not some other race. God created us to create ourselves. So if you notice, the people I named, the Mormons and the Amish, they have a lot of kids. They be having these big ass families, and they kind of do polygamy in the Mormon faith. So I'm not saying like follow religion or anything, but they kind of have like one man, and he's married, has all these wives, and then has all these babies. So he's basically kind of doing what Cynthia G is saying, and that's kind of where it's going to be. I'm like, am I going to only have my 5 sons fathering the whole damn flock because you told everyone to stop having black boys, and I'm going to have black good men? So that's like my exaggerated form, but that's basically what it's going to be. It's going to be like a few women who are willing to have good black men, like continue to have black boys, raise them up right. They're going to fall into the category of they're good black men. And so you're going to have like, what, 20% of these, 10-20% of good black men fathering everybody's kids. And that's, to me, a bit problematic. It's like, so we're all like, now we're doing polygamy. And I don't know any black woman, I don't know any woman that's happy sharing a husband. So again, you're going against what's natural. Because if it was natural, that's one thing, but it doesn't feel like, I don't know any woman that's like, I love to share my sacredness with my husband and all these other women. No one's doing that. Like, no, that's my man. He's mine. Like, people get territorial over it. It's almost like that's your property, which women used to be men's property when we got married. But that's basically how people really do see each other, even when they're just dating. It's like, you're mine. So I don't know any woman that's like, it's okay that he goes to bed with Sarah over there and Takita over there and Keisha. No one's going to be comfortable with that. So it's like, if you want to be realistic, take all the boys, keep having baby boys like you normally naturally should, but raise them on a compound. And so basically one generation will be a generation of single mothers, which we already are. 72% of black babies are born to single unwed mothers. So this, again, is not something that's that different from what we're already living. The only difference is we're living in a world right now where we're in the middle of the culture. So our children are going to public school. They're learning about Meek Mill. They're learning about sex. They're learning about shit you don't want them to be learning about, that you have no control over. That's the only thing that's different right now. So basically the only thing you would need to change is take them out of the public environment. Take them away from public crap, because public is crap. Whenever it's public, it's just not, it's substandard, like public school, public everything. Like, you want to take your kid and give them like a specific type of education so you can put into them what you want. And every pro-black person like Dr. Boyce Watkins, Cynthia G, like, everybody is already promoting that. They're already promoting, why are we sending our kids to our enemy to be educated? Why are we not educating our own children? So when you look at all of that, it's like, how is Cynthia G coming up with the only solution is to abort black baby boys, or don't even have, and like Tanya TKO said, she's like, why stop there? Why not just not have any more black kids, period? Why are we still having black girls? Black girls aren't angels. They're not perfect. It's like, why are we just saying black boys, like, get rid of them? Because black women play a role in this. Meek Mill is popular because of black women. Black women buy his albums. Black women are the main people that buy music. They buy music more than black men do. We're the ones at the club shaking our derriere. The women he's taking pictures of, he has his art form of, they probably are real women that do these things that he's seen, obviously, at the strip club, bending over, doing all this stupid stuff. So black women are taking part in this. We're not these angels that are totally devoid of, like, whoa, where did he get these images? We're part of it. We're going to his concerts. We're buying his tickets. We're supporting him. When they locked him up, we were the main ones. Free Meek Mill. I wasn't one of them, but I'm saying we just loosely, because I'm a black woman. But black women, because I knew he was trash. I don't have any faith in black males of that generation at all. But to say that a baby that's not even born yet is basically going to grow up to be trash is problematic to me. Like, that's what I'm fighting against. It's like, I feel like you do have a lot of influence as a black parent to raise good black boys.
No.
But you guys see what I'm saying? Because I'm living it. Okay, love you, Jen. You going to take your test?
Yes, Mom.
Love you.
Love you, Mom.
So, Abe, do you have anything else to add? But do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Okay, love you.
Come on.
I'll let you free and I'll finish my video. So, as we were saying, I just had a conversation with my 15-year-old and my 17-year-old. Neither one of my sons, even one of them who's always online because he's just a very analytical, intuitive, observant, brilliant child. He knew about the album, but he was like, I thought it was weird. Neither one of my kids listen to current music nowadays. They don't like it. They are surrounded by black people who are educated, hardworking, and brilliant. And we poured everything we have into them. We invest everything we have into our children. Time, money, education, anything we have, we pour it into our children. This is how you raise successful, good black boys into good black men. This is how you do it. My son is actually going to take a test right now because he's going to school online because we are homeschooling him. and he wants to finish school so he can work. When he had a job this summer, he worked like 12-hour days. He never missed a day of work. So he's going to make someone a good husband. His first girlfriend that he brought home to his mom, a black girl who looks like me. I couldn't have been prouder. It's really not that hard to see why what Cynthia G is saying is problematic. And why I feel like if you can be that extreme and telling black women to stop having babies altogether, black babies, or black baby boys, you can be extreme and remove yourself from the culture. But I think the thing that's really the issue is that black women don't want to leave the culture. They're enjoying the culture. They take part in the culture, and they're part of the problem with the culture, because you are the one supporting the culture. If you stop buying Meek Mill's albums, stop listening to Meek Mill on the radio and giving him airwaves and viewership and frequency, if you stop going to the strip clubs, taking your clothes off, if you stop being willing to be a video vixen or video thought or whatever you want to call yourself, if you stop being willing to share men and hoe yourself out for the bag, if you just stop, Meek Mill will cease to exist. You think Meek Mill is existing because of other black men only? Do you think he even majority exists because of other black men? Black women buy albums more than black males do. We are supporting Meek Mill. We are going to his concerts. We are buying his tickets. He's on that tour bus going to see us. That's the hard truth that black women don't want to admit. So like Tanya TKO said, if you want to stop having black baby boys, you might as well stop having black kids altogether. Because black girls are going to grow up and continue to perpetuate the culture as well.
When black women talk about these situations, talk about the harming, talk about the lack of loyalty, talk about the abuse, talk about the misrepresentation, it's almost like something in their mind separates black men from it when you start talking about why black men are even here.
Yeah, that is interesting, because black women are complaining about those things, yet they're still going on to date guys that treat them like trash. They're going on to continue to help guys cheat on their wives, cheat on other women. You know he's in a relationship, but you're okay with being the side chick. I remember recently seeing on Facebook black women like basically co-signing being a side piece. Like saying like, just get used to it, you know, and I've heard older black women saying that, like, that's how a man is. He just gonna play, like, that's what they do. That's just how they are. And really becoming accepting of that behavior. Black women are part of the problem. You should be unaccepting of it. You should not help him cheat on another woman. You should not help him cheat on another woman, because you would not want him, because then you're going to turn around when he cheats on you and be like, oh, he's cheating on me. But you're part of the problem. You're okay with helping him cheat on someone else. When you know he's in a relationship, you should leave and be like, no. That's what you can stop. You can stop screwing a guy that you know has a wife and kids at home. That's one way you can stop it. Like, stop being allowing yourself to be thoughted out for the bag, for clout, for whatever reason. Black women are the problem. They're complaining about guys doing this, but guys are only able to do this because other women are allowing it.
When you start reminding black women that not only do they have the power to walk away from black men, you also have the power to control whether they exist or not. Now, when I start talking about real solutions like that, the emotions come out. Now it's, oh, we can't live without them. Oh, this is lunacy. Oh, it's not all black men. Oh, well, these are our sons and uncles and fathers and brothers and cousins, none of which black men care. Do you see black men online saying, well, these are our sisters and mothers and daughters? No, but you did see a man of no color saying it. And the reason why you saw a man of no color saying it is because he knows that they do not represent their women this way. The reason that
And that's a lie. So let's go through and look at representation. I took some pictures of how white men, let's look through and see how white men like to represent their women. Let's look through and see how white men like to represent their women. I had to find the screenshots. So you have this here. Those look like white ladies to me. Our hair does not grow like that. And I've seen this type of picture on a lot of different items, cars, shirts, tattoos, you name it, it's there. You got this. You have this. You've got this. She looks like the woman that's bending over on Meek Mill's bus. You got more of these interesting, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's an evolution, like it's supposed to be a new, but anyways, it usually look like that. The two naked women. You got these depictions here. And you might be saying, okay, well, it's not on anyone's bus. It's not on, but you just saw the first picture I showed you was on somebody's car. Then you get into the white males showing women on them. Naked women on them. Or half naked women. So they usually have it in tattoos. Like, why do they have to be wearing just a bikini top? Where's the rest of their clothes? You got t-shirts with it. A lot of tats I've seen where women are half naked over my lifetime. So I'm sitting here listening to Cynthia G, and I'm like, is she for real right now? Like, there's no way you can pretend and say white males don't take part in stuff like this. We don't even want to deal with rock stars. I mean, what the heck? You know they're demeaning and degrading their white women. They're always naked in their quote-unquote art. I'm just like, are we going to let white people tell us what art is and what isn't? So I wanted to talk about what I think the bigger issue is here with the whole outrage from the white guy. I think the real outrage is that it's a black woman. It's a black man who's saying he wants to look at black women who are naked. And white males have been, what do you call it? They've been celebrating their white female counterparts' nudity for a very long time. No matter how unattractive it is, like, where's her butt? They have been celebrating it for a very, very long time. And this is the first time where I can remember where a black man has put a black woman up and called it art. And yes, it may be looking grotesque, but as a black man, he's looking at it like, this is how I want to see a naked woman. Like, I want to see my black women, and I want to see them in these positions. And it is degrading to me as a black woman, but I'm not a man. So any nudity of a woman that I'm having to look at is going to be degrading to me. I don't want to look at nude women because I'm not gay. That's why I also think it's interesting that Cynthia brought up that the artist looks like she's a gay woman. So for her and Meek Mill to work together, they probably had no problem portraying black women in a way that they would like to see them, that they feel aroused by, as white men have portrayed white women. Look at this mess. It's gross. You see this right here? Is this art? And it says, why is nudity important in art? People are asking, why is it? You know why I think it's important, even though I don't really want to see it? It's because it's life. We have breasts, we have butts. Like, art is like almost like a snapshot of life. And to sit here and never show your privates, it's just not realistic. We know we have private parts. We're all grown here. We know it exists. And this stuff is sitting up in museums for children to walk past all the time. And suddenly, it's like people are picking and choosing when they want to see this nudity and when they don't. And because it was displayed in a way that people found to not be to their liking, they're trying to say it's a problem, it's more problematic and it's different, or that we don't do this, but you do. You do. And it's crazy because Cynthia G is very educated. So for her to sit here and pretend that white males are not doing the same thing, or non-black males are not doing the same thing with their women, it's a lie. It's shocking to me that she would not be honest about this. I could look up Asian nudity art. Like, everybody is celebrating their women. Everybody celebrates their women. And I think, to me, what would be more demeaning is just the way he's depicting the black women. It's not the fact that they're nude. It's the way you have her bent over, the way you have her on a stripper pole. Like, that to me is more problematic than the fact that you... Because, like, if you see a girl here, she's beautiful. I'm pretending that she's beautiful in the face, but I'm not really looking at... I don't think she's that pretty. But anyways, she has this ethereal, romantic look about her. She has a robe, little nice, beautiful robe on. She's painting in the dusk. You know, it's like it's more of a feminine depiction of this woman. Like, even this right here, it's more tasteful. So it's like, is that really what this is about? It's the taste, the way it's done. It's not to your taste. It's not to your liking. It's not pure enough the way you're showing the nudity. Like, what is this? This is problematic. I don't even know what is he doing. It looks abusive. Chinese photography. Okay, you know, then what do you say about nude guys? Is that a problem too? It's just... Let me keep playing her video.
Speaking out about it is because he knows he have yet to see a tour bus from a man of no color that depicted women of no color in the same manner that black men willingly depict black women. If you've been considering homeschooling or feel your child is not thriving in public school, consider the Ziax Institute. This is a STEM-based, Afro-centered educational program for black youth. Children can attend daily classes online. Sorry, don't.
And so I also think it's interesting that her ad for the Ziax Institute comes on when we're talking about homeschooling black children, and that was a really cool option that I wanted to look into, because I felt like if Cynthia G is advertising it, it's black owned, and I definitely want to get behind that. But the irony of it is, to me, is just, you know, again, like, how do you not see this glaring example of what could be happening instead? Or do you not want to see it because you want to go with your agenda at all cost?
Forget to hit the notification bell so you'll know every time I go live and when I upload new content. Now, I'm going to show you guys this video from this man of no color, and obviously this has to be edited, so you're only going to hear the part where he's talking about what he sees on this tour bus. You're only going to hear the audio of it because unfortunately the imagery on the tour bus is explicit and YouTube would block it, and I really want you guys to hear what he's saying. Any anyway, so you'll see his image and then you'll also hear what he's saying. Then we're going to go over a few comments, and I really want to dig into what's happening here and this belief somehow that black women think that they can appeal to black men's humanity or whatever love they feel like black men have for them, even though black men have constantly been showing what they think about black women. When Meek Mill solicited this artist, because understand, black men, they can sit up here and deflect and they can say, well, this was created by a black woman. Yeah, it was created by a black woman who was sought out by this black man. And really, it doesn't matter who the artist is, to be honest, because if this is the imagery that Meek Mill wanted to go with, he would have found anybody to bring to life the imagery that he believes should represent black women. People can call it art, you can call it whatever they want to, but I notice how when black men are being depicted in unfavorable ways, they don't want to call that art. But I want to go back to my statement. It wouldn't have mattered who the artist was. This is what Meek Mill wanted to represent. So even if this black woman said, you know what, I'm not going to bring to life what you have in your mind, the depravity that you have in your mind, he simply would have found another artist. The artist isn't the issue. Black men are the issue. The perspective that black men have of you as a sexual object is an issue. The fact that the only time that black men want to represent you as a black woman, the womb that he comes from, he's doing so in a very degrading manner. That is the problem. And so they can deflect and say, well, the artist who created it is black and female. They can do that as much as they want to. But at the end of the day, she's carrying out his vision. She's not carrying out her vision. Furthermore,
so the next thing I just heard Cynthia say is like how Meek Mill wants to depict black women in this way. Are we talking about it though? Black women everywhere having fake outrage, real outrage, whatever, loving it, who knows? But are we talking about it? Is it top news in our black community? Are we talking about Meek Mill's new album, his tour bus? So again, like, it's advertising. He's promoting a new album. What better way to do it than put naked women on there? Sex sells. This stuff is just, it's almost like ludicrous to me. You know, Meek Mill does not come off as a stupid guy. He's actually seems to be pretty educated and pretty smart. And I know he's a black male, so we're supposed to just hate him right away. And I'm sure he's earned some of that hate, but this is a businessman surrounded by business people who are advisors giving him advice, and a lot of them are probably not even black. This is, you know, this art that he's created is doing what it's supposed to do. It's getting us talking about his music. Most of us don't even listen. Most people don't even listen to Meek Mill who are talking about this art. Like no one, I don't listen to it, my children don't, and that's 3 of us right here. And it's just like, but we're all talking about it. So isn't this art maybe doing what it's supposed to be doing? Getting people to talk about Meek Mill's album and his music and Meek Mill?
This artist was relatively unknown prior to now. Now she's getting a lot of attention because people want to know who created this mural that is Meek Mill's tour bus. But before this, we had never heard of her, probably would have never heard of her. So let's not be disingenuous and act as though this mural is somehow popularized and getting all of this attention because this artist, this black woman created it. That's not the case. The reason it's getting...
Look at this bull fucking shit! Look at this shit on the side of a bus! Is this what you want, black women? Is this what you want? Is this how you want to be respected? Is this how you want to be respected in life? This is how you want to look? This is how you want to be portrayed? Stand up to this bullshit! I'm from Philly. I actually should support Meek Mill. This is fucking disgusting bullshit. Look at this lady. Look at this. This is on the side of a bus where little girls can pull up and see this shit. That's... Let's not mistake what this pink dot is. This is disgusting. This is satanic bullshit. I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of... Look.
I missed what the pink dot is. I can allude to thinking what it might be. But this white guy having a meltdown, it kind of reminds me of Godfrey having a meltdown when he saw a black woman with the white guy. This guy seems like he is more offended because they're not white women that we're supposed to be celebrating. And I think again about white guys and just their part in sexualizing black women through slavery, the music channels, the lack of censorship when it comes to what they allow on the music, on the media, like in the media and stuff. White men own all this stuff. They created Meek Mill because they allow him to do these things. Like, if Cynthia G can't do both, she can't say that black males are conquered and then pretend that Meek Mill has all this power all of a sudden. It's because of white males allowing Meek Mill to be the guy that he is, the degenerate rapper that he is, that Meek Mill is able to put this kind of art on the side of his bust and on his album cover. If white males had said, no, that's not going to be allowed, that is nudity and is indecent exposure, and we just won't allow it, it wouldn't be there. So what this white guy trying to get mad at Meek Mill, it's just like you're looking at part of the problem, you're looking at the symptom, you're not looking at the root of the problem, which is degenerate white males who have been bastardizing, creating single mothers out of black women since the beginning of inception of America. I mean, they've been the ones doing all this stuff to our bodies, all the trauma to our bodies, and taking pictures of our bodies when we're nude, putting us in zoos and gawking at us, and circuses, and just doing all kinds of atrocious acts upon black women's bodies. And it's sickening. And it's like, I'm in no way excusing Meek Mill, but I don't see why this white guy is supposed to be the white savior and the voice to like make me feel like, oh my gosh, yeah, you're right, now we need to stop having black boys. And then go have what? Biracial kids who can marry a white person and create more white people? I'm not sold on that at all. I feel like black women have a lot of power and influence, and we can turn this around. And it's just there's so much contradiction and hypocrisy in what Cynthia G is talking about in this video. It's astounding to me. Like, it's almost like surreal. Like, I'm just like, does she really have a deeper agenda that I'm missing here? Is she angry about something deeper than what we know? Because she doesn't talk about her personal life that much. So it's like, we don't really know what's going on in her life. And it's just like, is there something else missing here? Because I feel like if you're going to follow a YouTuber, you need to know their personal life. Like, why should I be listening to you? So you should be telling people, this is why you can listen to me, because I'm actually living that life. Authenticity is key here. Because you're leading people's lives. They're following you. It's kind of like Derek Jackson, who was this relationship guru, quote unquote. And he's giving all this advice. And then at the same time, he's cheating on his wife like he's a serial psycho, narcissistic cheater. And then it's also like this guy that Paris Milan just had on her channel, who she was telling us to listen to. Then she's like, wait, it says self-aware NPD, so he's a narcissist? Yeah. So should we still be listening to him when he's a narcissist telling us how to deal with narcissists? That's so jacked up on so many levels. I don't even know what to tell people. Like, it's just, because how can we say we can trust what he's telling us to do if he's a narcissist? We might be able to trust him, we don't trust him. Like, how do we know he has our best interest at heart? So you have to know people's story and their background. And a lot of people don't even know Cynthia G has a child. I think I heard that she doesn't. But it's like, no one's giving enough of their background to even justify why I need to listen to you, or why I should be blindly following you, especially when it comes to my life choices. Something as big as like whether or not to have a child or not. or to abort a child. I mean, just the whole thing is crazy to me. It's completely insane. It's insane. This whole thing is insane to me. I was following Cynthia G, but I never follow anyone blindly, and I always knew there was things I didn't agree with. But this is probably one of the most stark, points in her talking points where I'm just like, no, I cannot get behind that. I just can't. You have to be able to be objective when you're looking at things like this. Like, black males are a hot mess, and nobody needs to be worshiping them. They have not earned it. They don't deserve it. But at the same time, like, to give a blanket death sentence to all black males, like, I'm not going to have you anymore. You need to make that clear, like, who is not supposed to be having them anymore, because you still said a small percentage is needed to continue the black race. So the women you want to not have them anymore, make that very clear. Who's going to be allowed to have them? Why are they going to be allowed to have them? How are they raising them that's going to make them so different? And make sure these boys are not growing up with the mindset of the culture.
Look at this shit that you're getting on. This is for everyone to see. Little girls are seeing this crap.
Yes.
It's fucking crap. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. I'm so sick of them just rubbing Satanism right in your face. Oh, it's for art. This is art. Is this art? Black and white check.
So it's not Satanism when white people are worshiping Satan. Okay. Again, the hypocrisy. I'm just like, he looks like someone who would be a Satanist. A lot of them walking around saying they're atheists. They don't even believe in God. But now suddenly he's this holier than thou Christian telling us about these women being disgusting depictions. And I don't really feel like it's coming from a place of like, I care so much about black women and how they're depicted. I think, again, it's just he doesn't want to see it because they're not white. We're not glorifying whiteness.
Lord, what is that? It's a Masonic flooring. Duh! Look at this garbage. Money. Garbage. Wake up! It's all related.
Now, you guys listen to that video and listen. Honestly, it's very hard for me to do commentary on this because I just get tired of hearing black women complain about black men. I get tired of hearing black women act as if they don't know who they're dealing with. I get tired of black women acting as if black men haven't been demeaning and disparaging your image since they've been able to. Let's not fast forward all the way back to after you got off the plantation, and one of the first levels of exploitation that black men engaged in was to sexually exploit you to men of no color. This is what they were doing. They have books writing about it. They then went and got into music calling you bitches, hoes, etc. So there's never been a time when black men have protected the image of black women. Yet when something like this happens with Meek Mill or Kodak Black or whoever chooses to make disparaging comments about black women for the moment, black women get surprised. And what really puzzles me is that when this is not happening, when the outrage is not flowing because a black man showed once again his devaluation of black women, it's all black male worship. Like, I remember when Meek Mill was in prison, how many black women were sitting up there talking about free Meek Mill and how unjust it is that he was in prison. So it's so interesting how much support Meek Mill has gotten from black women, only to turn around and put a mural on his album cover and on his tour bus depicting black women. And
it's funny because as she's talking about this, I'm thinking about all the black women who are half naked at any given time, including the beloved, revered Beyonce, and how they're always showing their body parts in their music. Like, even Ciara just did a video on TikTok, and she of course showed her husband looking at it, but still, it's public. Like, that's something that should be in your bedroom. So black women are always showing themselves in a very over-sexualized way. And I honestly think there's going to be some black women that are going to like this, and they're going to appreciate the fact that he's appreciating black women. Like, how would black women feel if these women were white? Well, we they would be mad and be like, but why aren't we on the bus? Why aren't there any black women on the bus? This whole thing is like, I don't even know where to take it. It's like, black women are so devalued that every little thing is like this outrage. But we should not just be always reacting, and we should be proactive and just stop supporting Meek Mill. Stop supporting all these black rappers who call us bees and hoes. It's that simple. I haven't supported them in 2 decades. How many other people are able to say that? How many other black women are able to say that they don't support Lil Wayne, Meek Mill, Jay-Z, just all the trash out there? I don't even know who the rappers are. Future. Even the black women who are half naked all the time. Stop supporting them, then they disappear. White people give them the money to do what they're doing. They front them the money. Black people go ahead and do it because they always have a number that they can be bought at, like a slave. And black people, mainly black women, run out and buy it and condone it and celebrate it like WAP.
Negative manner. So when black women think about their imagery now, when you think about the stereotypes placed on you, why is it that you're not connecting that to black men? Do you really think that it's men of no color who put out the narrative that you were these thoughts? Do you think it's men of no color who's...
Yes, absolutely. It was men of no color that put that narrative out there. This is what white men did. They started it. Didn't they? And then they did this. And then they did this. Where are her clothes? This is what I think I saw when I was trying to get groceries. That was on a magazine cover. But who did this? Who made white women and black women the face of objectivity? Who even came up with the saying sex sells? Was it black men? Because now they suddenly have all this power. The conquered men are suddenly the ones controlling the media. You can't go 2 minutes without seeing her butt. People are so stupid. That is not her butt. The other picture that I just scrolled past. We can go on and on. Let's look at J-Lo. Just the glamorizing of it. This is what it's always been. It's always been this. This isn't new. Meek Mill isn't doing something that hasn't been occurring for decades. Beyonce. I just want to know, why are we lying to ourselves right now? What is the real agenda here? What's the real agenda? That reminded me of this look, Madonna. Because most of the artists just copy each other anyway. Didn't she recently get a bigger butt? She's dating a black guy, so she got a bigger butt. Madonna's known for having her cheeks out. A woman of no color, no less. Look how old this is. Her little flat butt out. What's this other lady? Lady Gaga, who's basically a Madonna reincarnate. So let's stop the lies. Let's stop pretending. And when Cynthia G says that white men don't do this, the first video came to mind is the video, it was with Britney Spears. No, it was, oh my gosh, no, it was like Aerosmith's daughter.
Alicia Silverstone and Liv Tyler have a crazy reunion. No, we mean a crazy reunion. Alicia and Liv starred in Aerosmith's music video for Crazy over 20 years ago, and now they're reuniting and haven't changed a bit. The two shared the new photo along with a throwback image of when they were younger. In the video, the two played high school girls who ditched class for a road trip. The video was once the most requested music video on MTV. Just last year.
So you have that video. We all remember it. I'm not going to play the whole thing. But it's like, enough is enough. Okay.
As men of no color who's making black men write disparaging lyrics about you? No. The reason black men are writing disparaging lyrics about you is the same reason why Meek Mill put this imagery up about you. And it's because this is what they think of you. They have no respect for you. They don't care about your image. They're not going to protect it. If they're not even going to protect you, why would they protect your image? If they will allow anyone else to say anything about you, why would you be surprised then when Meek Mill comes and put this on his tour bus and on his album cover? This is not surprising to me. This is typical black male behavior. What's surprising to me is the fact that even when this blows over, black women are going to go back to worshiping black men and calling black women like me, who suggest that you think critically about even procreating with black men and birthing black men into existence, crazy, illogical, radical, and a whole host of other names. But it raises the question of,
yeah, let's instead make ourselves go extinct or birth something else into existence that's going to be doing the same things to black women.
what is the solution then? Are you just going to continue to complain, black women, or are you going to at the very least withdraw your support of Meek Mill? This should be the last straw for Meek Mill. Really, he shouldn't even.
And she's always asking, what is the solution? Many of us are giving the solution. It's not the one you want to hear. It's not the one you want to hear, because you yourself love the culture. You love the culture that you complain about. And you want to pick and choose when you want to be a part of that culture. It's either demonic and horrible and disparaging to black women, or it isn't. Because if you're supporting it, you're okay with these things that you're complaining about right now. You, Cynthia G, are part of the problem as well. Every black woman I know, like, they look like what the girls are wearing in the rap videos. They're following the trends. They're listening to the music. And then you want to tell black women to stop having black boys. Why? What are you going to change about yourself to help this movement that you're starting? You're saying you're not going to have any black boys. Maybe you weren't planning on having any black sons to begin with. Maybe some black guy hurt you and you just hate all black guys right now. But you never once said you wouldn't date a black guy. And you never once really admitted you'd go outside of your race. So it's whatever to me, because I have my children. I know what I'm doing with my sons. But yeah, it's just whatever. The hypocrisy is ridiculous to me. And I think what I want to fight against is that the narrative that you cannot raise black boys outside of the culture, because you can. And they can become men and not have anything to do with that culture, because that's just not their life.
Get one opportunity to disrespect black women. However, I'm pretty sure all throughout his music is disrespect for black women. So now that you see the imagery behind it, now it's a big issue. And if you thought that black men were going to rise up and defend you, you thought wrong. Because Killer Mike over here, another black man who should be a small amount of black men who are wreaking havoc on the community. They'll say there's only a small amount of black men who are harming black women and children. They'll say...
Okay, so she's basically going to continue to talk about that same thing. So I said what I had to say. My children were even interviewed and brought into this video just for me to reiterate that I'm one of the few black women that's actually living that life. I don't know how many other black women are willing to really walk away from the culture, but we do it every day, and we're not missing a beat. We don't miss it. You know, it's not like I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to have Meek Mill and Kanye West new album. I don't care. I didn't buy either one of them. I do not care. So be the solution you want to be. If it means not having black sons, go for it. But don't blame black babies for all the problems of the black race, because the problems are going to still be here, even if you decide not to have black boys. The problems are going to still be the same if black women continue to support all the degenerate crap the black males come up with. So leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about this topic, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Peace.